Hello everyone, welcome back to Pios Videos. It's another new exciting episode. We are going to talk about some very hot transfer stories coming up. Also, we are going to discuss some in-depth analysis of issues going on the football world in Europe especially. And also we are going to discuss in general the stuff you don't usually hear on the mainstream European media. Now, once again, let's go right in and start with our first story. News coming in since yesterday is that a second bid for Harry Kane has been launched by Bayern Munich. Now, mind you, the initial offer they made was around 70 million pounds somewhere last week. It was immediately turned down by Tottenham Hotspur. Daniel Levy always wanted to get 100 million pounds plus for Harry Kane. For foreign clubs, he is unwilling to negotiate a deal with any European club, any British club, sorry, in a bid to sort of prevent Harry Kane from playing for their rivals, whatever that means. Now, so a new bid of 80 million pounds has been launched by Bayern Munich going forward. I'm going to say that I am not sure Daniel Levy is going to budge on Harry Kane's evaluation. He's always interested in getting more than 100 million pounds for Harry Kane. So Bayern Munich probably would have to dig deeper in their pockets to land Harry Kane. Mind you, they are eager to get a top-class striker because last season they struggled in the Bundesliga. They had to wait until the last day of the season to win the Bundesliga. They managed to get over the line with the trophy, but it might not really help them in Europe this season. So they are trying to build their team. Sadio Mane was bought to be a false nine, but it didn't really work out for him right there. So they are very serious about the Harry Kane bid, and let's see how Daniel Levy, who is very tough in negotiations, will deal with that bid. I'm sure it will be rejected as well. So Bayern Munich would have to come back again. Now, I want to focus on a new player on the block, Victor Roque, the Brazilian wonder kid. He has just signed. Deal is complete. He's going to Barcelona. Remember, I said earlier that Barcelona were delaying on, agreeing the overall payment that Atletico Paranaense was looking for because of some one or two issues they had with the Spanish football authorities in terms of their wage bill. Now, that has been cleared, and Victor Roque is now cleared to become a Barcelona player. The deal is worth around 60 million euros. The initial bid, in full bid, is 60 million euros, but the initial payment will be around 30 million euros plus another 30 million in add-ons. Not a lot of add-ons in there. They are going to pay if Victor Roque scores a number of goals, if he plays a number of games, if he is able to win the Ballon d'Or, which is quite interesting. But it shows the kind of player that Victor Roque is. Now, Paranaense are hoping to cash in on him if he indeed does win the Ballon d'Or going forward. So that is a bit of Victor Roque there. Now, while still at Barcelona, fresh news coming in this morning is that Barcelona have been able to secure a deal for Olio Romeo. I'm sure the EPL fans will remember this guy. He was at Southampton, and then I think he went to Everton a bit. I'm not sure about that. Then he went to Spain to play for Valencia. He had an average, career there, and then he was shipped to Girona in the Catalans. And you remember Aurelio Romeo is actually a La Masia graduate, so he's known among the Barcelona circle. So when Barcelona have been in the market to look for Sergio Busquets alternative, now mind you, Sergio Busquets left for Inter Miami this season. He will be playing there in the US. They were looking for Brozovic from Inter Milan to replace Sergio Busquets, but unfortunately for them, they didn't have the money that Inter Milan was looking for. So they looked to a low-cost alternative, which is Olio Romeo. He signed a 3-year contract. The price is around 5 million euros, plus or minus. So it's a low cost replacement for Sergio Busquets. But going forward, I'm sure Barcelona will be looking for a long-term target to replace him now, which is very strange because I think Frankie de Jong is actually very good at playing in that role. So I don't know why Xavi is actually looking for a replacement for him. Barcelona midfield is actually quite good. They have Pedri, they have Gavi, they have the Ivorian Frankesi in there. They were looking to sell him, but I don't know if he's willing to leave. So let's see how that goes. Now, still at Barcelona, a lot of stories on Barcelona this afternoon. They are looking to redevelop Camp Nou now. Big news coming in this morning with Barcelona fans being emotional on Twitter because the stadium is actually being teared down now. It's an iconic stadium. It's been there since 1957, and they are sort of attached to the stadium. But I mean, if you are a club and you want to move ahead in life, you have to consider infrastructural development, which is a huge part of the club development. So they've signed a deal to redevelop the stadium. It will cost them about 1.25, close to 1.3 billion euros, which is a huge project. 1.3 million euros is a huge project. And you remember Real Madrid also are in the process of opening their new Santiago Bernabeu, which was under development since I think 2 years now. The plan was to open it earlier, but due to rising cost of building materials as a result of the COVID, which resulted in blockages in global supply chain of products overall, not just building materials. The prices of goods skyrocketed and it affected their budget. So initially it was budgeted around I think 450 million euros. Now it's gone to around 700 to 800 million euros. So Barcelona would have to be a bit careful about that because a lot of these deals they are dependent on the prices of goods, building materials especially. So I mean, if the supply chain is still problematic, I mean, I read an article earlier somewhere last month about the fact that prices of goods are not going to go down anytime soon because as there's an overall increase in inflation across board of all products across the globe, and the problem is that the COVID caused supply chain, issues. So that is still there. And the article said that the problems might actually be permanent. There are changes in the supply chain that are going to be permanent. So reduction in prices are not coming anytime soon. So Barcelona would have to be very wary of this and take into advantage that the budget of 1.23 billion might actually go way beyond that. Now, with that, in retrospect, I want to talk about the fact that Barcelona are also looking to make some money on the side, which I think is innovative and a bit funny, but innovative. Now, let's go. The issue here is that they are trying to create some sort of new diamonds with Barcelona paraphernalia, especially. The key component that I read which was interesting to me, I think it was ingenious, is the idea that they want to incorporate the pitches, the grass of the Camp Nou, the stadium. Now they want to use the grass as a sort of paraphernalia to incorporate in diamonds, which is quite interesting. And they are looking to have this diamond-made Barcelona pitch insignia available on the market maybe by the end of the year, and they are actually anticipating that a price of around 25 million pounds annually would be made from the sale of these Barca styled diamonds from the Camp Nou pitch, which I think is amazing. So let's see how that goes. Now, another thing I'd like to talk about is Manchester United's current problem with selling players, and now they have put Eric Bailly on transfer. Jadon Sancho is available if a good bid comes in. Harry Maguire is available if a price of 50 million pounds is lodged. McTominay is available. Fred is available. Now, Eric Bailly, I know, is wanted by Real Betis. Real Betis have expressed interest in Eric Bailly. Now, I don't know how serious that interest is, but Manchester United are hoping to sort of recoup some money they bought, for him from Villarreal. Although I don't know how that will be successful, because Bailey didn't have a good season at Marseille. So going forward, let's see if Betis can bring in some money. Although I read somewhere that Manchester United are actually hoping to cut their losses and release him for free, which is very unfortunate, Also at Manchester United, there's a news coming in is that the manager Eric Ten Hag is hoping to sort of have this one-on-one with Harry Maguire about the issue of captaincy and his sale. So it's a double agenda for Eric Ten Hag to propose Maguire to leave the club because he doesn't have him in his plans going forward, and also to tell him that he's not going to be the captain for the new season. And I'm thinking that probably Bruno Fernandes is going to be the new Manchester United captain, because he is the one who's been debuting for us throughout the whole of last season. So let's see how that goes. Now, also still at Manchester United, I want to talk about some of the loan moves for the youngsters. I know that Pelestri, the Uruguayan winger, is actually wanted by FC20, and I'm sure that move might happen. So it's good for Pelestri to go out on loan again, and then let's see what will happen next season. So Pelestri to FC20 on loan might happen very soon. And also I like to look at the issue of Atlanta wanting Amad Diallo on loan. Now they want Diallo as part of the Højlund deal. I remember I said earlier on that the Greenwood deal was on, and that they wanted to have Greenwood on loan plus some money for Højlund. But now the news is coming in is that they prefer to have Amad Diallo. Atlanta are looking to get Amad Diallo plus on loan plus some money for the sale of Højlund to Manchester United. Now, another story I like to talk about is the fact that there is news coming in that Mauricio Pochettino is actually looking to have a conversation with Dele Alli. Now, let me specify here that it is not for a transfer to Chelsea, but on a personal level, Pochettino is trying to reach out to Dele Alli to try and find out what is wrong with his career and help him, because you remember Dele Alli was at Tottenham as a teenager. He was brought in by Mauricio Pochettino. He identified the talent, he believed in him, and he gave him the opportunities to become who he was back in the day. And you remember he was bought from MK Dons. I remember a game against Manchester United that MK Dons actually eliminated Manchester United from the FA Cup in the first round, and Dele Alli was really exceptional. And so from that point onwards, I mean, it was known that the guy was meant for stardom. So he was bought by Tottenham Hotspur, and then he became a really great player there. He won, I think, the PFA Player of the Year 3 times on a row. 2016, 2017, 2018, I think. So I mean, Dele Alli was really on top of the world. I mean, he had the world at his feet. He went to the World Cup with England. He scored a game, I think against Sweden in the quarterfinals, I think. So Dele Alli was really, phenomenal for Tottenham. And then, Mourinho came in, and then something happened. I read a lot about what was going on in his life at the time. I think he had some sort of personal issues he had to deal with. He was clubbing a lot, partying a lot, drinking. Issues with his girlfriend and stuff like that kind of interfered with his career. And then moving on from there, his career took a dive. Mourinho criticized him and said in that probably infamous Amazon documentary that he was not a serious player, he was lazy. Dele Alli from that point onwards really struggled, and then Antonio Conte came in and it didn't work out, so he had to go to Everton. Everton wasn't good enough, so he was loaned to Besiktas. I think from there, the Turkish football giant came up to say that Dele Alli was below par in his performance. I think he played about 15 games in total, scoring about 3 goals, and from then on, his performance hasn't really been what we know Dele Alli can do. So Pochettino is trying to reach out to him and see if he can help him rejuvenate his career. Now, Still at Chelsea, I want to talk about the fact that the rumors that I brought a story some time ago on one of my episodes about Dybala to Chelsea. At the time, it seemed like it was a bit funny transfer, but it's gaining steam. Apparently, it's true. Pochettino is looking to bring Dybala to Chelsea to play as a false nine because they are struggling with strikers. However, he has told the Chelsea hierarchy that for now he wants to study Nicholas Jackson and Armando Broja to see how they will perform on preseason before he decides whether to to settle on Dybala. Now, mind you, Dybala himself wants to stay at Roma. He has said that he wants to stay. He was interviewed by a journalist whilst in England watching the tennis competition recently going on at Wimbledon, and he told the journalist that he wants to stay. Roma themselves want to offer him a new contract to 2027. So I mean, the guy is willing to move, but at the moment there is no concrete negotiations between Chelsea and Roma for Dybala. Now Mourinho also wants him to stay. Mind you, Mourinho has no money on for the transfers this summer. I mean, Roma spent almost 10 million euros for the whole of the summer of last season. They are cash strapped, much like a lot of Italian clubs. So they are not looking to sell their gems to anyone right now. So mind you, they have a contract with Dybala for 10 million pounds to be sold to a foreign club. So I mean, if Dybala is leaving and you are getting 10 million pounds, I mean, who are you going to get in at the quality of Dybala to replace him? So it's not wise for Roma to let Dybala leave. So on that transfer, I would say that for now it's just a rumor, but there is an intention for Pochettino to see if the Dybala move can happen, assuming that Nicolas Jackson and Armando Broja don't meet his requirements on preseason. So let us keep our fingers crossed on that deal. Now, I want to talk about a new, some sort of Saudi moves in the EPL and in Italy. Saudi Arabia are looking to get Thomas Partey. Partey is not interested in the move. He wants to stay at Arsenal. Arsenal are looking to move him on. That's what I've heard. They are looking to move him on because of his injury record and probably also because of his wage. He's the highest paid player in Arsenal on 220,000 pounds. I think 250,000 pounds a week. So they are looking to move him on. So let's see how that move goes. Partey is not interested in Saudi Arabia. He feels he can offer more still in Europe. So let's see how that goes. Also, with the Saudi move, remember Saul Niguez. Saul Niguez is a very talented Spanish midfielder, central midfielder, played for Atletico Madrid for quite some time. He was very successful there, and then he got a loan move to Chelsea because he had problems with the manager. So I don't know. He became a free agent. Sorry, not a free agent. He was with Chelsea on loan, but he had an average season there. He didn't perform well, so Chelsea, brought him back. It was supposed to be a sale option, but the Chelsea didn't activate that sale option, so he was sent back to Atletico Madrid. And the coach says he doesn't want him, so they are looking to move him on, but they are not getting buyers for Saul Niguez as things stand. So right now, the only option for him is to go to Saudi Arabia, and I'm hearing that a lucrative offer for Saul Niguez has come in, and so he is obviously going to study it and decide his future. Now, also, with the Saudis, they are looking to bring in Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba, you remember, left Manchester United on a very sore note. He probably issued threats to United that they will regret selling him or letting him go, whatever that meant, because he was injury prone. He wasn't, performing well enough, and I mean, he wasn't, putting in the minutes to try and recover. A lot of distractions off the pitch. So I mean, Pogba leaving Manchester United was a good deal for Manchester United, and it shows that in his career at Juventus, I mean, it means Manchester United made the right move because he's been on and off. I mean, it's been a bad spell return for him at Juventus. Remember the infamous incident at the Alps in in Switzerland, where he was supposed to be recovering from an injury, but went skiing in Switzerland. So I mean, the fans got angry with him, and since then, I mean, it's been bad to worse. He has problems with the manager. Allegri, once told the press that Pogba was not serious enough, and all that. So I mean, personal issues with the manager, with injury issues coming in. I mean, it's a good deal that Pogba will probably go to Saudi Arabia at this time. He had an interview with a Saudi journalist, I think, a while back, somewhere in May, where he was trying to recover from his knee injury, and they asked him about a Saudi move, and he said now probably not, but maybe in the future, who knows. So yeah, who knows? Pogba says who knows. So I'm sure that Saudi move might happen. They are offering him a 3-year contract worth 100 million euros, so I'm sure probably he would have to look at that and move away from Turin, because it's not going to happen for him there, in my opinion. Now, moving on, I would like to look at Axel Disasi, the Monaco defender, has been linked to Manchester United. Eric Ten Hag, remember, spoke to him. The news coming in was that our target as centre back, in case Maguire was sold, would have been the South Korean defender Kim In-jae. But unfortunately for him, he moved to Bayern Munich. So our fallback option was Axel Disasi from Monaco. But right now, it seems like it's going to be difficult for us to even get him, assuming even if Maguire is sold, because he is currently dealing with Newcastle United. Newcastle United have contacted Monaco, and they are speaking to the player's agent to try and get him back on the team. So I mean, it's going to be a bit difficult going forward. So let's see how that move goes. If Newcastle is going to get him, and that would be a disaster for Manchester United, honestly, because I mean, our fallback option has also been taken away from us. So let's see how that goes. Also, I'd like to look at one issue that people haven't talked about yet, and like I said, this channel is about discussing news and in-depth analysis of issues that mainstream Europe isn't talking about, and that is Chelsea's kit sponsorship or deal. Now, if you are going to be if you are observant, you will realize that in the Chelsea kit launch, they didn't have any shirt sponsorship, no sponsorship on their front jersey. Now, why and what is the deal with that? What's happening now? The news is that they were actually dealing with Paramount Plus. It's an agency in the UK. Unfortunately for Chelsea, the Premier League board vetoed that move. That contract was supposed to have been signed with around 40 million euros, but it was not going to be possible because, according to the Premier League board, that deal was going to be contradictory to the EPL rights. Apparently, there were other companies sponsoring the EPL that were at odds, like producing the same product with Paramount Plus. So I mean, that deal was not going to be possible. So EPL board vetoed that contract. Now, so their fallback option was to negotiate with a kit sponsor called Stake. Yeah, Stake. Now, Stake are a gambling firm. However, that deal also was not successful because apparently not only are they a gambling club, which the fans don't want, they are also linked with a Chinese billionaire called Alvin Chow. Now, this Alvin Chow guy, a billionaire, has been linked with some sort of shady dealings with some criminal underground operatives in Southeast Asia. Yeah, so Alvin Chow linked to Stake. Apparently, his firm, one of his firms, is sponsoring the website, powering the British website of Stake. And so, I mean, the fans say that the links are not good for the image of Chelsea. That a billionaire linked to the brand Stake, which is already a gambling firm, is also linked to some criminal underground operation in Southeast Asia. So the fans got angry about that deal, and so the Chelsea board had to cancel that deal. So going into the new season, this is for the first time top 6 EPL club has no shirt sponsorship going into a new season. So that's probably very unfortunate for Chelsea right there. They could have gotten some money, but unfortunately they don't have any shirt sponsorship going into a new season, which is very unfortunate. Now, so one or two deals that I'm also following, I'm looking at, and I'll bring those deals to you as time goes on. So for now, I'll probably have to end here and say that, you know, this is Pious Football on YouTube. You can like the video and then subscribe to the channel for daily information on transfer news and also some in-depth tactical analysis of, you know, teams going into the preseason, and in general news that you don't usually hear on mainstream European sports media. Thank you very much for staying with me. Bye.